Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, and Organ Donation India Foundation. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today's topic is not only current, but very, very relevant. And the topic is learning from animals. Animals are a very clever and divine creature. Their existence and importance in a child's development are of inestimable value. Every animal has a unique life value. It impacts kids, and it's the duty of parents to highlight and impact these values into their kids. Studies have shown that animals exhibit a higher level of emotion compared to humans. This is why kids get to learn from them. And if the kids will learn from the childhood, then when they become adult, definitely those learnings will be very, very useful. Now, I would like to explain few of the learnings from the different animals. Bravery. The lion is an epitome of bravery. The lion is a courageous, bold, strong, and aggressive. This is a quality every child should possess. When I say every child, means the adults have to also possess, but when the adult was a child, then he should have learned this quality, so it will be always there. Forgiveness. The elephant is an animal that can be characterized as meek. They are subject to poaching and the practice forgiveness. Determination. The spider is a very persistent in terms of building its web. The spider never often makes its web from one attempt. He keeps going until it is done. If it gets destroyed, he gets to work again and starts to rebuild. Living in the moment. The life of a deer is a very simple and peaceful one. They live their lives peacefully, taking each moment at a time. Teamwork. The ants are my most cherished animal in terms of what you can learn from their behavior. The ant is an epitome of a collaborative effort. They work together, never leave anyone behind, and never let a workload tilt towards one side. Patience. The leopard stalks its prey with patience. He waits for as long as it takes to capture it. Loyal and faithful. A dog is a very loyal and faithful animal. A dog is a very supportive animal that does not require any reason to stand by you. Follow your own path. The life of a horse is independent of its pack. The life of the horse will teach to take their own path. Eat more vegetables. The second largest land mammal is an epitome of strength. Even with their strength, rhinos are herbivores that feed mostly on grass. Learning through imitation. Orangutans and other apes are among the most intelligent animals. Their imitation behavior is used for communication, showing affection, and above all, for learning new tricks. The apes knows what to imitate and when to do it. When they see something new, their natural curiosity leads them to imitate and try new things. Travel and learn. Whales live to travel in pack or pods and discover new places. They normally travel large distance during summertime. Business aptitude. Honeybee. Full division of work. So all animals have some qualities which, if we will inculcate in our childhood, or we will see to it that our child or the grandchild get these habits from them and we teach them, then definitely when they grow, they will definitely have those qualities. There are other animals also like cat, monkeys, so many. Everyone is having qualities and we can learn many, many things from them. And to discuss this very, very important aspect and topic today, the learning from animals, we have a very elite, those who are really animal lovers, panelists are with us. I would like to invite my first panelist guest, and he is Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand is the senior psychiatrist and marriage counselor. Dr. Rajiv Anand passed his MBBS in 1976 and did MD in psychiatry in 1980 from King's George Medical College, Lucknow. He opted to serve his country when it was very common to settle abroad for a brighter future. He has been serving society with his base in Mumbai. He has clients all over India as well as in many other countries. He was honored with Lifetime Achievement Award by AMA. He has conducted more than 3,000 workshops for different group and companies with audience size of 10 to 800. His television program on various channels have been widely appreciated for his forthright and practical approach. He is leading in the field of mental and emotional well-being for 41 years. He was president of IMA for 2 times. He was interviewed in several talk shows domestically and internationally. Welcome, Dr. Rajiv Anand, on our show. Dr. Rajiv Anand, today's topic is quite different than our usual topics. We always talk about women, girls, men, and whatnot. But today we are talking about a different creature in the world, and that is the learning from animals. So we would like to know your views on learning from animals. Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank you for the introduction and welcome to my colleagues on the panel, Sharina right now in Dubai and Radhika in Bangalore, I believe, and Dr. Shubha Chokde in Mumbai. Welcome all of you. Talking about learning from animals. First thing, I would prefer being called a student, always eager, always ready to learn from as many sources possible. As Mr. Lal set the tone for this morning discussion, even an ant, even a donkey, or an elephant, or anything for the matter. Let's go back, ages back, when the planet Earth had a huge space, a lot of greenery. Those who remember the movie called Avatar, or some of the movie of that era, huge greenery and very little human population. It was a big ecosystem which supported human life, and reasonably well we can say that we supported human life in a beautiful way. People lived comfortably and people had a good time that time. Then we thought of becoming modern, evolution, anthropology, then we grew mind. From that cave time, we became smarter. Now we have big houses, we have big buildings, we have everything. We have a concrete jungle now. There's something called ecosystem, which is a bit of a word to understand. That every living creature on the earth is helping other living creature directly or indirectly. Nothing is without any purpose. If anything is breathing on the earth, if anything is alive on the earth, there's a purpose. Most of us may not be qualified enough to decode that. Right from the plants, any plant, even a thorny plant may have a purpose. Even a rose does have that thorn, it has a purpose. So anything and everything which is on the earth, which had been planned by some big power, has got a purpose. And purpose is to support the other lives. And other lives as much as the higher lives it could be. So we kept on undergoing an evolution of our life, becoming better and better and better and better. Fair enough, nothing wrong with that. Anthropology is not my science, it's not my curriculum, so I'm not much aware about it, except the name that anthropology, the science of human evolution. But I also wonder, हम ये कहाँ आ गए? हमने उस planet Earth से धीरे-धीरे नेचर को बाहर करते गए, और हम दिन पर दिन अकेले होते गए. Is it too difficult for any one of us to imagine that the generation of our grandfather or many other people of that era who were rich enough to have big houses, and big houses was not so uncommon, unlike our today's houses of 2 BHK and 3 BHK and 1 BHK. Big houses, I'm sure that all 3 of them, ladies sitting over here, they have big houses, having buffaloes, having cows, having cat, having dog, having horses, having other animals, having parrots, having other cage birds. Not that I'm recommending it to it. Animal lover Shalina is sitting over there and she would pounce on me that on what basis you are recommending. But they were fond of animals, whether those animals provided them the milk, or they provided them the workforce, like in villages, the cattle, the bullocks. But animals were a part of the family, and even now, many times, many of us city-bred people get wonderstruck when many clients who come from the UP and Bihar, and when they come for the treatment and they are in a hurry to go back, and we ask them कि जल्दी क्या है, बोलते नहीं हमारी दो दो बैल हैं, हमारी दो गायें हैं. They are like family members. They are not like just living animals. They are like family members. They take care of them as much as they take care of the senior generation people. So these animals have a lot to teach us. Despite being in the science of the mental health, I often wonder, do we know enough about life? Do we know about improving the quality of the life? We think so, because we think we have a qualification. We think we have a degree provided by XYZ University. How about the fishes? They live in the vast ocean. They don't own any particular house. The whole ocean is their house. Maybe they may have segregated boundaries somewhere, undefined boundaries. They do not have any insecurity of losing the house. They breed over there. They bring the children over there. Do they have a maternity nursing home? Do they have a hospital? Do they have a gynecologist? Do they have a neonatal care? No. Yet billions, trillions, maybe some of the word beyond that, fishes are born every day. Is there a cleaning system? How those fish who get dead, how they are cleaned up? There's an ecosystem. And the ocean is one of the biggest occupier of this planet Earth. Isn't there much to learn about ocean life, sea life? Many of us are fond of going on the videos on the YouTube and elsewhere, and there's a beautiful display, beautiful description of how the ocean life could be a very big teacher to us. Let's think about the birds. What they own? Nothing. We call them nests. A small thing, they have weaved together. Tinka idhar ka, tinka udhar ka. With their limited intelligence, they made a nest. They come over there in the night to sleep. They get up in time without any alarm. They go in the sky. They look for the food. They soar around. They don't take afternoon siesta. They work hard to look for the food for themselves as well as for their growing ones. They bring their food and feed the growing ones. The same nest is their breeding ground, same nest is their bedroom, same nest is their privacy. They produce their children over there, the eggs over there, the left over there. The eggs are hatched over there. The newborn come out of this. In that nest, their entire world is there. Do they ever cry about this nest? If somebody does attack, yes, then. Otherwise, they are fairly confident and fairly comfortable and convinced this nest is going to remain there. Isn't there a lesson for us? We have all the neurotic traits of anxiety. Kal hoga, kya hoga? Fear. We have comparison. We have jealousy. We have insecurity. We have this, that I want to have more than others. Is there something like that in the animal world? Possibly not. They live as best as they can, and they enjoy every moment. I'm sure if I could speak to animals, and I'm sure if I could decode the language of the animals, I'm sure there are some people who learn how to decode the language of the animals. In animal world, there is no tomorrow. It's only today. You ask a buffalo, ask a bird, ask a parrot, ask a house sparrow, Kal tum kahan honge? If they could speak out, they could say, your question is irrelevant. We don't understand the question. Kal tum kahan honge? And we, the most civilized people, most educated people, live less and die more about worrying about kal hum kahan ho. Ab agla COVID ka kab aayega? Have we really been benefited by our intelligence and our education? We need to review it. Talking about the birds and the fishes, go back to any animal, any creature on the earth. Talk about bees. From where do they get this intelligence to collect the best which any flower is producing and pick it up and bring it to their hive, what is called hive or heap? I may be not clear about the pronunciation. And they produce the nectar over there. Can we produce that kind of nectar? which has medicinal qualities. The earth had brought the flower up. They go and pick up, and there's a process of, I'm sure this must be a few days, a few weeks. I'm not updated about it, and they produce the nectar. Can we think about one of the most hated living creature called snake? And we extract snake's poison to make medicine. Well, in any society, snakes would be killed at the first sight. But the same snake is the source of providing so many medicine. Can we ever think of all these animals are without any purpose in our life? No. As Mr. Lal said in the beginning, most of us, and that includes me, I wish we could have been surrounded by the animals, as many as possible, right from the childhood. We could learn from their behavior. As he set the ball rolling, their perseverance, their patience. Long back, I have read a small story, ant, as they live in those cave-like thing somewhere in the earth. She picked up very big tinka, and she tried to carry it around the head and size everywhere of a snow. And the size of that big tinka was 3, 4, 5 times of a size, and the weight. She tried to pull it, she couldn't pull it. She tried to push it with her might, whatever little it was. She also called some other ants who were going in the direction, and they all jointly tried to push it. Yet the weight of the tinka was heavy enough. Then they tried to pull it towards the cave. And with a lot of struggle, this way and that way, somehow they could bring it to the entrance of the cave where inside their house was. And when they brought this big tinka to the entrance of the gate, they found the entrance was too small for the tinka to go inside. So they didn't waste their time. They left the tinka outside, smallest time, and they went inside the house. Nahi ja sakta, nahi ja sakta. They didn't show any frustration. So do animals have frustration? Do animals have depression? I'm sure that all of us are clear about they don't have it. Why do we have it? Animals live only for today, and we do not live neither today nor tomorrow. Animals are least educated, least qualified, even this word is irrelevant now in their context, but they live every moment. They come back to their home nest, all the birds, with the sunset. They don't have any alarm system. They don't take their dinner late. They don't have a system to relax their mind with a glass of alcohol. They sleep. They synchronize their biology. They synchronize their rhythm. They synchronize their rhythm along with the sun's. An hour or two before they begin singing song in praise of sun, and they go along 11 hours, 12 hours, and by the sunset they begin returning home. Isn't there something to learn? Isn't their life simple? Make the best, enjoy the best, eat whatever is available, go to sleep, get ready next day whenever the sun is going to rise. No complaint, no grudges. How often we have heard whether our domestic pets or other animals showing the grudges very occasionally. I would cite one very personal experience I learned almost 25 years back. I used to park my car somewhere outside my clinic. So when I went, considering this is my property outside my clinic, I parked my car. A dog was sitting over there. So I will try to show him away by blowing the horn. The dog got up. His one leg out of 4 was injured. He was naturally petrified seeing the big car coming and feeling that I am powerful enough to displace him from where he was resting. He got up and quietly moved away, cleared the space for my car to park, and go 10 feet or 20 feet away. This made me think this incident happened 25 years back, somewhere in late 90s. It made me think, does this dog have a father? Does he have a mother? Does he have a brother, sister? Does he have a friend? Does he know the hospital? Is he crying? Is he cursing the person who has injured his leg? Maybe a car, maybe a scooter. Does he have any caretaker? Does he have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? No, he doesn't have. He was quietly mind the time to let his wound get healed or fracture get healed if it does get, and if it doesn't get, he would live with it. When I came in my car, he quietly, without any protest, he quietly got up, shifted to another place, made me learn about how much faith he has in the big power, how much faith he has in whatever is happening. We have to accept it without much grudge, without much bitterness. I learned from that 4 lakh, that time it was 3 lakh creature. And I was a psychiatrist. And I really realized it. Do I think that I know everything about the life or about the world or about the happiness or about the making the best in this life? And that made me learn. All this is fast what we think. We have a long way to go to learn from as many sources as possible. That's where I requested this topic to Mr. Lal that let's talk about learning from animals. We would also be talking in coming weeks, learning from nature. But learning from animals is a lot we have to learn. And I could, with a lot of difficulty, could find out, trace all these three ladies. Dr. Shubha Chogle has got at least half a dozen cats moving around in the house, and they look to her and they ask for the food, they ask for the milk, and they're like family members. And her sister, Mridula Chogle, who is an advocate, very fond of uh, cats, and not just one or two. They have put the names to the cats, and they understand each other's language. So does Shanini, who is known in Bombay and Dubai for being animal lover. Any animal undergoing any kind of pain, and Shanini's heart cries louder than the animals. And Radhika in Bangalore and ex-Bangalore and ex-Dubai has got a heart which palpates with the animal's pain. So we could zero in on them and we could invite them. So I would stop here and would look forward to listening to these ladies. There's a lot which can be spoken about, not necessarily for me. Over to you, Mr. Lal.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv, for explaining and giving the details about the learning from animals. And as Dr. Rajiv said, that all animals have those qualities. We have to learn from them. Only reservation he's having is that the nature, which is the mother of everyone, is now been destroyed by our generation. And he gave the example how the great grandfathers or the grandfathers of this generation used to be there with a big houses, with all the compounds, with having so many animals, whether it's a cows or the bulls or the dogs, the cats or horse. And nowadays, how many can afford, and especially in metros or big cities where the space to stay there is very limited, how they can accommodate those big animals. Small animals, pet animals like dogs and cats are fine, but not the big animals. So I was just going in my memory lane, and as Dr. Rajiv Anand knows that we used to stay in a very big compound of about 4 acres at Mathura, and there we used to have our own horse and the cows and whatnot. And naturally those animals or those birds were already there. Peacocks, still they are coming there. And we were taught at that time to give them some food by way of some rice or bajra, maize, etc., etc. We used to in the morning, and they were so fearless that they come and just eating in front of you, dancing there. We have seen all this peacock dance, etc., which is really something which not only give you the happiness, but whatsoever depression you are having, if you see a peacock dancing in front of you, if you see the cat coming to your on the bed and just lying and putting her head just beside you on the pillow, that will remove whatsoever tensions you are having. So I personally have so much experience, and also with the snakes, because at that time it was totally jungle, that area. And we have seen, but no snake has harmed till now, thanks to the God. But I'm sure that they also understand that somebody is, if you are harming, then only they harm. Otherwise, generally, I cannot vouch for every spicy, but yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. And I'm sure the viewers who are watching, they will learn today much more, because it is something which we have to learn, and especially the new generation, the youth should learn the importance of the animals in our life. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Miss Radhika Pai. Miss Radhika Pai is an ex-banker and now head of Vidyaship Community Trust, Bangalore. She is a Reiki and crystal healer. She is keen and curious to learn, hence unlearning to learn constantly. Welcome, Ms. Radhika Pai, on our show. Ms. Radhika Pai, you have heard Dr. Rajiv Anand. Now we would like to know, because you are very keen and curious to learn, hence unlearning to learn constantly is your motto. So we would like to know your views on learning from animals. Ms. Radhika Pai, please. Please unmute.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. Thank you, Doctor, for having me over. And also with all what you said is pretty much what even I agree. There's one point which really comes out for me is that, we human beings have become the users. We use every animal possible. They don't do this to us. I don't see any animal trying to use us, but we human beings have never stopped. And I don't think we're going to stop either. You told us about how the snake venom is being used. That is, the venom was created for that poor snake, for him to protect himself. Wahan bhi humne encroach kiya. We encroached their land. We pounced on them. We have done everything possible to destroy the animal kingdom. Yet they survived. If you just see how they coexist, I wish we human beings learned to coexist. Ever since we started encroaching on their land, we've also started encroaching on our own people as well now. That is where the society is going. If we learn how to, the animal knows how to trust its instinct. I think we have lost out on this. So much of information, so much of technology, so much of scientific research, everything, but we've forgotten something which God has given us, which is trust our instinct. We haven't done that. And another thing which I noticed is that herbivores they only eat vegetables, right? They only eat the greens because their teeth are made that way. If you actually go and check our teeth, we also are not supposed to eat meat. But have we stopped? We've even gone there. We've even started eating meat when we're not actually equipped for it. So there's a lot that we human beings can learn. They adapt to change very easily. Let me tell you about this personal story. So we had this dog called Toby, and we were the third adopted parents for him. The day he came, wagged his tail, I think he realized that, okay, this parent wants to give me up. They're giving me to another person. Very happily, Toby, with no resistance whatsoever, happily accepted us, stayed with us. When he was young, he used to know if anyone rang the door or if anyone came home, he would be the first person to go there, wag his tail, welcome them, bring them in, jump all over them. And I noticed as he grew older, the same Toby, anyone rang the bell, he would just look up and he'd be like, okay, someone's come. He would acknowledge their presence with just one wag of his tail. There was nothing much. And then I started realizing that this is how one should be as one grows older. Just be on your own. Why should you try to, get into everything? He never did something which he did when he was younger, like jump on everyone. He was like, Acha, I know I've got my issues. I've got gout. I better sit quietly. This is one thing I learned from Toby, is to be detached. He loved us, yet he was detached. He learned how to live his life to the fullest. And that's every animal. They live their life to the fullest. As doctor said, they live for the moment. They don't hoard. They prey when they are hungry. It's not like, and another thing they do is they coexist. If you see the predator and the prey, they live together. They live in awareness. This is what I felt they do. The lion also knows that the deer is there. But wo खामखान जाके नहीं उस पे वार करता है. He does it only when he needs it. So it's need based. There is no guilt in that also. I don't think any lion will feel guilty. अरे मैंने क्या कर दिया? उसको पता है उसने ये करनी है. He's made for this. Likewise, we human beings can also learn how to not hoard things, how to live in the moment, how to be in awareness. They are very much aware. So you'll find them coexisting, not unnecessarily getting into any panga, doing things only when it is needed. if you see the animal kingdom, they have a lot of unity. You will see the elephants walking in herds. I think today we human beings need to know that unity is our strength. We need not do what we're doing now. This dividing and ruling, we don't need to do this, but yet we do it. I end my 2 thoughts with this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Radhika Pai, for giving your views. And she also says that, and she made a very important point. She says that we are using the animals. Animals are not using us. And that is the problem today, that we try to take out those things. And she mentioned about the venom, snake venom. Yes, I know, because there is a very famous institute in Mumbai called Hopkins Institute. They have a very big farm near Pune, where they are keeping all those cobras and others, and those cobras are they are subject to bite the horses which they are procuring from those old horses after those been rejected from the race course, etc. And from there they are making the vaccines. Excuse me. Excuse me, please. I will just mute her. Please mute. Yeah, no problem. And that is why how we are exploring them, but we are not grateful. We are not grateful to that horse who is subject to snake bite, and make that was the main instrumental for the making the vaccine, and the snakes who are there. So all animals or creatures or mammals, they are useful for us. But what are we useful for them? That is the thing which Ms. Pai is raised. We are using them, but they are not using us. Thank you, Ms. Pai, for making your very, very important observation. Now, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Ms. Shalina Mamtani. Ms. Shalina Mamtani is BCom B.Ed. She is an ardent animal lover. She is having 10 years experience in teaching in primary school. In 2015, she went into animal welfare because of a dog called Rani outside her office who fractured her leg, and the vet told to contact Shirley, who would be able to help. So that's when her adventure started. After that, her life only rotated around her mother and her pet. Thank you, Ms. Shalini, for joining us from Dubai. You have heard Dr. Rajiv Anand as well as Ms. Radhika Pai. They have given their views. We would like to know your views, because we can see on the background you have put backdrop with some dogs behind you. So we would like to know your views on learnings from animal. Ms. Shalina Mamtani, please.
Thank you, Dr. Goel. I have put that logo behind because that's my NGO, which is in Mumbai. And we've been actually running from the last 18 years. And I joined them in between. And it's only the ladies who have started this NGO. We have no male on our list. We have no office of our own. Basically, we are just doing it from home because we don't believe in wasting money on offices and light bills and all that. The only thing that we have is two drivers that are working for us who are actually doing the whole work with a van. And we are always at a loss of money. I should not be saying that, but I think with animals, it is the same case because nobody actually wants to help animals. If you ask for donations regarding humans and all, people are always ready, but they feel कि हम जानवरों को क्यों बचा रहे हैं, because they have no value basically in human life. So I think quite a lot of points have been covered by Dr. Anand, Dr. Goel, and Radhika, and I think maybe mine are also going to be similar, but instead of talking about a lot of wild animals, I would just like to talk about the animals which I'm dealing with, that is cat and more weird dogs. So since I've had a dog in my life, the only thing is I would also like to say the same thing, that we have a lot to learn from animals than animals can learn from humans. But the other thing that we animal lovers believe is that until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened. So because a soul requires love, loyalty, gratitude, and humans, as far as it is nowadays, don't actually understand this part of it. Everybody is just in a rush in today's date. Animals are getting harmed everywhere. We get a lot of complaints about dogs getting harmed because they don't want them coming in their way. Kabhi barish hoegi, so if a dog wants to, he wants to be away from the rain, अगर किसी के घर पे घुस गया, उनके ऊपर acid फेंका गया है, उनके ऊपर गर्म पानी फेंका गया है. So I really don't understand, like, how much can humans actually, why do they not understand what an animal goes through? He goes through the same emotion that we go through, but humans don't understand that. I have got questions asking कि इसको क्या होएगा अगर हम इसके ऊपर पानी फेंकेंगे, इसको लात मारेंगे, इसको थोड़ी लगने वाला है. But basically they don't understand कि उनके अंदर भी same parts that we have, the heart, the eyes, everything is the same. जैसे उनको बीपी कैसे हो सकता है, उनको जॉन्डिस कैसे हो सकता है, उनको थोड़ी होएगा, ये तो हमको ही होता है. So I don't know how can you actually educate the humans so much, because they have a block in the mind regarding animals. And it's going to be a little difficult for them to understand until and unless, like you said, that has to be calculated when they are small children. So we actually should have a lot of lessons in class, like one class also should be on animals, how to treat the animals, how to look after them, so that from childhood the child starts loving the animal, and that's how he grows up into understanding animals. And regarding learning from animals, we got so much because they understand all our emotions. My dog, whenever I was upset, she could understand everything. When I'm upset, when I'm happy, when I'm hungry, when I'm like, and like Dr. Anand आपने बोला उनको depression नहीं होता है, जी हाँ उनको भी depression होता है. And it's like we have अगर the dog litters on the road. Now stray animals, there are very few caretakers for them. Luckily in Bombay we have quite a lot of areas in which they are taken care of, and even if a new dog comes into the area, he's looked after well, they are fed well. So basically when a stray dog is also littering on the road, the people around don't want those small children because they litter in like 7 or 8 and they don't want them around. So what they do, they put them in a gunny bag and throw them in the garbage box. So they do go through depression because it's the same concept of a mother getting separated from a child. It is the same thing. They feel the same love, they feel the same emotion. If their child gets hurt, they cry. If the child is lost, they go into depression trying to find that child all over the area, which they cannot because they don't know where that human has thrown them. And then for us also it becomes very difficult to find the mother and connect them to the children. So these things we would really like to bring it about to the humans, that please do not do something like that, because it is the same emotion कि अगर आपका बच्चा गुम हो जाता है, तो what is the same depression, the same emotion, the depression, the anxiety and everything that you go through, they also go through the same thing. And the other thing is, when we love an animal, our love is selfless. We know that the animal is not going to give us anything back in return. The only thing that we get from the animal is a wag and a lick to show his thankfulness. But अगर हम इंसानों के लिए कुछ करते हैं, we always feel कि उसको just because आज हमने उसके लिए कुछ किया है, he needs to reciprocate back to us. Like if we give him 5,000 कि हमको वो कल help करेगा, अगर नहीं करता है तो why did we do this, why did we do that? Whereas when we are doing it for animals, we have nothing in mind because we know हमको वहां से कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला है. We are very selfless. The love is there. We are just happy with that one lick and one wag of his tail. Ki, okay, he's satisfied. We are satisfied, and that's it. The look on his face is enough. It gives us everything in life. And like somebody said, they also live for the moment. Like we don't live for the moment. हमारे घर पे सुबह झगड़ा होएगा, so like we keep carrying that on. But an animal, if you notice, if I slap him in the morning and I go out, if I come back, he's there waiting at the door for me, with his tail wagging, with a smile on his face and the love in his eyes. And he's forgotten the slap that I gave him in the morning. But ye hum log se nahi hota hai. We take that grudge for days and days together that he did this to me. So like, why should I listen to him, or why should I do that? Because he's insulted me and all that. But where animals are concerned, all that doesn't come into his head. Because for him, it's only love, love, love. There is no other. Yes, they do go through all the other emotions. But in the end, they only want to give us love. And because their life is only surrounded by the one person whom they love. And if that one person doesn't love them, then they go into depression, they stop eating food, they get sick, they get a lot of problems. So basically, वही होता है कि they need love, and animals actually need love. I will not be able to talk about the wild animals because yes, we cannot, respect with the love with the wild animals. But basically, with the cat and dogs, we do that. So that is the reason we started an NGO, because we couldn't see those dogs in pain on the road, and very few people come across to help the dogs which are on the road. So. They also, the other thing I want to say, they don't have attachments. Like if today we have a pet who's been in somebody's house for 10 years, and suddenly they realize that he's become old and we want to throw him out, they just do it. Do they do it? I mean, will they do it to their children? Will they throw them out if they're fed up of them in today's date or something? No, they only do it to animals most of the time, because they feel that they're a liability. Because animals, again, when they grow old, they are at the same level of the humans. Like our parents, they're old. We need to keep them, look after them 24 hours of a day. They need to be changed. They need to be given a bath. They cannot get out of the bed. It's the same thing with the pets. But people do not want to give extra time to the pets. They don't want to look after the pets. When they are small, roly-poly and all, inko sabko maza aata hai because they are very playful and all that. But after the age of 10, they also become old. They don't have the same energy levels. They cannot do it. They get the same arthritis. They get osteoarthritis. Everything that we get, they get. But I don't know why humans don't understand कि उनको भी वही सब problem होता है. Like even cows and all, they are being kept outside in the heat where it's 40 degrees, but उनको बाहर रखना है. But why do they not realize कि तुमको अगर छत चाहिए तो even they need a छत ऊपर above your head. Basically, even though we are taking all from animals, but we are not giving them enough from our side to help them out. And the only thing in the end I would love to say is, even if the children need to learn that, because they don't like to be treated badly, they don't like to be hit, they don't like to be spoken rudely to. Same way, an animal also doesn't like to be hit every minute and doesn't like to be spoken rudely. So if these things are taught to the children during the smaller age, they can understand what an animal goes through. Because agar unko toy bhi do, to they have a habit of just throwing the toy. So they don't understand that they're not supposed to hurt. So agar hum wahi samjhate hain unko ki you are not supposed to hurt the cat, you're not supposed to hurt the animal. So they try to understand that. So even on the road, when they see, they will not try to hit them. Because there are a lot of parents also who keep saying that, "Arey, side mein ho jao, because that dog will bite you." But that's such a wrong impression that the parent is putting into the mind of the child. Whereas all the animals don't just come and bite you, they only do bite you when you are hurting them. And that same thing goes for us also. If somebody is trying to hurt us, we always pounce back. So everything between the animals and us is the same. But the only thing is we are two-legged, they are four-legged, and people don't want to understand that. The other thing is I would just like to end it up by saying that once a dog dies, we always say that he goes over the rainbow bridge. Because for us, like dog ka agar aap ulta loge, it is God. So for us, they are like God. I don't go to the mandir, but agar mujhe aaj kisi dog ke liye help karna hai, to I will run, whether I have 104 fever or what. That is not the criteria. Whether I'm wearing a 10,000 ka dress, it is not the criteria at that moment. For me, it is just go on the floor, go on your, like we also need to go on our fours to help them. If you cannot go on your fours, you cannot help an animal. So that's what we do. And that's how we actually started an NGO and came up with all that. The one more last thing I want to do, this is like regarding rape. When a girl gets raped, we know what she goes through. When there is a gang rape or something like that. Same thing even dogs go through. When they are on heat, all the male dogs are behind her. And what she goes through is the same thing what a girl goes through. So that is why our main aim of SOS is sterilization. We try to pick up all the female dogs, get them sterilized, so that at least they are free of all these problems in their life. And that's how we started. We are only, again, ladies doing this from home. And we all are very happy. There's a different connection between all of us because our only topic is animals. Isko ye hua, usko hua, wo cat ko problem hua, he's wounded, that wounded. Because usually we never talk about we got a 5 lakh cut necklace or we got a 10,000 cut dress. So our basic only one simple topic is animal, usko kaise theek karna hai, usko how do you deal with it. Thank you, Dr. Goel. I think I'll just end that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shalina, for giving your views. First of all, I must congratulate you for such type of a nice NGO in Mumbai. And I saw that how this NGO is working in Mumbai. And this is what is required today. And as you are saying that people are not caring, today we have become like a stone-hearted. When we are not even interested to give the organs, donate organs to our own kith and kin, our own family, you can imagine how we are going to think about the animals or the pets. That is a change, and it's basically a societal change which we are seeing today. And I'm so happy that you are doing this. And as you have mentioned, yes, the emotions are always there in the animal, and especially in the pets. I have seen they are also having one more emotion is jealous. They are jealous. I was having a Pomeranian. She used to sleep on our bed, and when my son he wanted to come on my bed, she never allowed. So this was that type of jealousy. Although she never have any problem with my son otherwise, but she never wants that anyone else should come and sleep on our bed. Me and my wife are sleeping, and she has to be on with us. So they also want love. And as you said, in return, they always give you the happiness, the happiness which you will not get by spending money on your dresses or necklace, as you mentioned. But if, as you rightly said, if they wag their tail and if they just nod, and the way they look towards you, their eyes gives you that thing. That is a pursuit to happiness which you will not get. So thank you very much for your efforts which you are doing and other ladies are doing. So these things are we require, but unfortunately, I can say in many of the cities or majority of the cities, this thing is lacking. And I know, because in one of my program, Mrs. Menka Gandhi was the guest, and she was mentioning how the RWOs, those residents associations, how in Delhi, they are making laws that no one can feed them, no one even feed the birds and others. They says that our things are becoming dirty. And she was so unhappy during the COVID time. She says, just imagine what is happening to the pets as well as the birds if there is such a ban, because no one can go out. But if they can throw something in the compound of the building, the multi-storied building, that has been banned. According to her, we are so cruel. And I also agree with that. At least when we know that COVID time, everything is locked down, you cannot go out to feed the stray dogs or anywhere. How you will do it? At least you can put something outside in your compound only. Let them come inside. Let them do. But we are heartless, ruthless, whatnot. Thank you very much, Ms. Shalina, for giving your very, very important views and creating such a nice NGO. I hope that everyone, all of should have somehow to their heart for the animals also. Forget about the men or the women. Now, coming to our next panelist guest, I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Dr. Shubha Chogle. Dr. Shubha Chogle is MSc PhD. She is a clinical biochemist and animal lover. She worked at Beach Candy Hospital and Research Center as manager, clinical biochemistry and immunology, and quality manager for 25 years. She is faculty for MSc students of Mumbai University. She is co-guide for MSc students of Mumbai University and NMIMS, deemed to be university. She is also visiting faculty for the students of Diploma in Clinical Analysis, Mumbai University. She published various research papers in national and international journals. She worked as a guiding speaker for few corporate companies. And her hobbies are singing, reading, learning new techniques, cooking, loving, and caring animals. Welcome, Dr. Shubha, on our show. Dr. Shubha, you have heard our earlier panelist, Dr. Rajiv Anand, Ms. Radhika Pai, Ms. Shalina Mamtani, and they all have given their views about the learning from animals and their love for animals. We would like to know from you, because you are an animal lover, but you are a clinical biochemist and you have worked in a very reputed reputation, and still you are giving your consultancy and your specialty to many of the corporates. We would like to know your views on learning from animals. Dr. Shubha Chogle, please.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak on your forum. I must thank Dr. Rajiv Anand also to recommend my name to you to include me in this platform. As you said that during COVID times, Maneka Gandhi was one of your analysts, and that she was very upset that nobody said that the animals come and then they make things, how can we throw food, this, that. Even when I used to go out to the chemist and all, I used to see many cats and dogs running here and there for food. But there used to be a policeman, and we were really afraid whether can we feed these people. So my veterinary gave me the number of Maneka Gandhi, and twice or thrice she was busy on the call, but then she called me back, and I told her situation. So she said that go and feed them. That was, so I got enthusiastic reply from her, and leaving aside my fear, we used to carry a bottle full of milk and some bread, and we used to feed them. Now we are considering ourselves to be very superior because we have brains, we have feelings, we have emotions, and we consider ourselves to be too wise. But we cannot deny that these animals who are actually considered as animals from our side are also intelligent. They are also having their feelings, they have emotions. In fact, from the dogs and the cats which we have in the house or who are our pets, we learn the art of compassion from them. We teach our children to be compassionate towards each other. As you said in the beginning that about the ants have teamwork. They always, so what we learn from these ants, that we should make ourselves sufficient, self-sufficient for the future, because they do not go all alone. They go in team, they carry everything, whatever they get, and they never allow the belongings that they carry to fall on one side. They balance themselves well. From as we say that they are donkeys, but what we learn from them is patience. Even if you put 10 kg or 15 kg of load on them, they will never say anything. They will just go quietly carrying that heavy load on their back. They say, people say that the ass kicks back, but if you only harm them, they will give back in return. Otherwise, they are the epitome of patience. Salmons, they are fish. What they teach us, what we do is, as human beings, we get upset with our failures. We try once, if we fail, we again keep an etiquette, we again fail. And so what happens is, we go into mood of depression and we stop trying. But take an example of the salmon, who from the shallow waters, from the fresh water, from that gravel part where they lay the eggs, finally go upstream to the ocean so that to lead their adult life. But what is, they come back to the fresh waters to spawn, that is to lay eggs back. During this course of time, lot many eggs are destroyed. Their small ones are eaten up by the bigger fishes, but yet they don't give up. They do come back from the upstream, that is from the ocean, back to the fresh water to lay eggs. So what we learned, that never give up, never get disgusted. The point is about the elephant. You said that epitome of patience. What I can say is they practice that they have got a senior elephant who has lived for many years, and the matriarchy, what it is known as, elephant who is very senior, and the younger ones will pay respect and follow this elder elephant because she has got lot many years of experience. When they have this kind of experience, they look for the disaster which is coming in, and the other smaller elephants are taken care of. They also epitomes of love and promise. Similarly, if we can also see the Canadian geese, which fly in the V shape, gives us an idea of leadership. What is the earlier goose, she just when tired or when she gets feeling sick, the other one just behind her back will take the front position and that goose will go back. It teaches us that we need to be leaders. Many a times people don't take the leadership. They say, oh, what, why should I interact? Why do I worry about the other's failure? No, they practice the idea of leadership. Similarly, the whales, they go together and they have got a language of speaking to each other and they go far distances. Bravery, and also the leopards and the lions, they teach us. What they teach us? That you never announce you never announce your moves till you achieve them. We say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to speak in that conference, I'm going to have publish a very big paper. Please never announce your moves until and unless you achieve them. So this is the way we learn from animals. Similarly, bravery and there are so many examples where we learn from animals. Now, even Miss Salina said that if the dog becomes sick, I've seen that my pets, it's a very, very sorrowful thing that they stop eating. But they never say ooh or ah as we keep on shouting, we keep on yelling, expressing our pain. But no, they will just sit quietly and not harm or not trouble us at all. It's a very difficult time when they stop eating. They have to open their mouth, thirst the medicine or water because they even do not take a drop of water. So it's a very troublesome job to open their mouth, to put a drop of water or to put the medicines inside their throat. So, and also when they are sick, when they are very bad, they stop cleaning their bodies. Generally, they always, if you see, once they have their milk or once they have their prey, they will clean their mouth, they will clean their faces, they will clean their paws, all on their own. But when they are sick, they stop doing this, which is a very sorrowful plight, and they become very dirty. We have to take them to a clinic to clean them. So even one more thing they teach us is that they stretch their bodies, they stretch their paws, and give us an example of practicing yoga. We just keep on lying in the bed. If we are feeling lazy, we do not do all these moves, but they definitely do it. So we should learn from animals. And only thing is that these wild animals, we are away from all this. So even one more thing I would like to say, that many of the people have got an idea, oh, Billy aayi, Billy ne mera rasta kaata. Now whole day is going to go to waste. So that is not the way. In fact, why don't you take it the other way? That I was blessed by the Billy going across, because I have never seen any work going to failure if any cat crosses my way. That is just a bad idea or a bad notion that we all have in our minds. We should always, as Mrs. Radhika Pai said, that We only take from them. But you should also love them apart from the idea that we are not going to gain anything from them. We should always love them, because if you don't love them, there is nobody who will take care of them. One heart should have some kind of feeling, who cannot talk, who cannot express their feeling. In fact, they teach us how to follow our path. They also teach us to take rest, because we keep on working. We keep on working all the time. We work and work without giving any thought of taking a rest. And that is the reason why we go into depression, why we suffer from setbacks. But see a cat, it will live in the moment. It will enjoy, it will hop, it will skip. You just put one strip of your medicine packet, the thrown from whatever you take out the tablet, and just look to the cat moving about, skipping, jumping over it, and playing around. But at the same time, it will take its own time to take rest. Express your feeling by purring. All the cats, now whatever cats I have, as Sir said, that I have cats in my house, everybody would like to come and sit on my lap, turn by turn. When I come from the hospital or when I come back from my work, they will all sit around. Who is going to go first on my lap or on my sister's lap? So that is the love that they give us. And that is why we actually, in fact, when I lost my dad and my brother on the same day, Sir knows about it. So they were the people who gave us initiative, who cherished our life and who made us live with the moment. So have some love for the animals. Do not only exploit them. Do not try to use them. Have some love and try to give them love, compassion, and feeling from your heart, so that they too will love you. They will never give back until and unless you trouble them. If you trouble a snake or if you kick a donkey, then only that donkey or horse will kick you back. Otherwise, they are not going to do it. We only are the cause for all this. Have patience, have compassion, have love, have feeling for these animals who cannot hear, you cannot talk, who cannot express their feelings. Thank you so much, Mr. Goel and Dr. Rajivanan, once again, to give me an opportunity to talk on this forum of media conference, Loving with Animals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shubha, for giving your views. And as Dr. Shubha has explained the learnings from different animals and the pets, and she says how that they are giving love. And during during the lockdown period, she says it was very difficult time, especially for the animals and the pets, because no one was feeding them. They were not allowed to feed, but she could connect to Miss Menaka Gandhi. And as we all know, she is a known, not only in India, internationally, a animal lover. So she contacted and she gave the encouragement that please go and feed them, no problem. And we have seen even the police also supported. Many times it happens the police people also wanted the food to be given to them. And we have seen in the cities afterwards, when the media raised this voice at that time, and people has come out large-heartedly and try to support. But there are few who are against. They say when we are not getting the food, why we should give to the animal. But that type of thing, as we all know, that when we are talking about animals, when we consider them as our own family member, so how we can distinguish in one family member and other family member? We have to think for everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Shubha, for giving your views. Now I would like to ask my first question to Dr. Rajivanan. Dr. Rajivanan, we in India, in the name of urbanization or development, we are finishing all the forest, greenery, as you have also mentioned. And our zoos are not at all properly kept. If you go to Baikala Zoo or even that National Park Zoo or any other, even Delhi, what we have seen in our childhood, the animals there used to be in a very proper way, healthy and whatnot. But today it's very pathetic condition. And we want to learn from them. What do you say about it?
Mr. Lal, I fully agree with you that in the priority list, animals have been sidelined by all the powers in general who could do a lot, as well as the society in general. We have made animals redundant as if they have nothing to do with our life, as if our mission is to make money, earn money, have big cars, have big houses, and the animals are a liability. So it's becoming out of fashion to have a pet these days because it's difficult to manage. I mean, I have some of those who somehow manage the pets at home and give them protection. I have few friends who have good pets and they treat them as their own child, and it's commendable. Leaving aside those who can and those who can't, even the compassion for the animal, which Shalina is representing over here, as well as Shubha and Radhika both have displayed ample trait of that. Why is that missing? We can never see the unconditional love anywhere else as much as from the animals, be it any animal, be it horse or deer or pet dog or cat, whereas we can get a display of unconditional love for a small food which also is not supplied to them regularly. How much care we extend to them. In fact, very strangely and very sadly, we have banned even the house sparrows to enter our house because of the fear of the mosquitoes. We have put that Netflix or whatever is called net, etc. House sparrows can't enter the house while they were doing a great job as scavenger. They were selectively picking up the insects, live or dead, and they were cleaning our house or many other function. So my request to people, individuals, get back to compassion, because that's not just extending compassion to the animal, that's keeping your great trait of compassion alive in you. You can't let your heart die, the physiological heart. You can't let your liver go to get damaged. You can't let your lungs get spoiled. So you can't get your psychological, emotional, spiritual heart die. If you can't vibe, if you can't connect with the other living creatures, then you're in the process of getting dead. As we are witnessing world over, whether on this pretext or that pretext, people are ready to kill each other, kill fellow human beings. We have started killing the animals. Let's try to review our life and bring back rectification as much as possible. Back to Mr. Lal.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving your views. Yes, you rightly said that we require the compassion, etc., which we are lacking. Now, my question goes to Dr. Miss Radhika Pai. Miss Radhika Pai, Dr. Rajiv Anand says compassion. But what we are seeing today in big cities or even small cities also, people are those who are keeping, I'm not talking for everyone. So please don't take it otherwise. But generally what we are seeing is people are keeping the pets as a status symbol. They have seen the advertisement of Vodafone. They have seen some advertisements of some other dog or the cat. They are showing and they are showing off, but they don't have the actual love. The dogs they are buying for 50,000, 75,000 rupees. And they are saying, see, I purchased this. But whether they have that actual love, what we have seen in our childhood, even a stray dog is as loving, or a stray cat, without any money. We never purchased any animals at that time, and they walked in at our home, and it's a welcome for everyone. But today, it has become a status symbol, not something which you all have spoken about, the family member, but we consider as a status symbol. And when I have even seen somebody died for a day or two, they say, okay, very bad, that animal. And then again, they purchase someone and they say, now we have purchased for this for my money. What is your view about this, Ms. Pai?
Now, if you really ask me, Mr. Goel, I would squarely put the blame on technology today. We've got social media. We've got people doing things only for social media. Have you seen where we are going as a human race? We're doing things just to get likes, just to be accepted. So even this animal thing, adopting an animal, they don't believe in adopting, they believe in buying an animal. So buying an animal again is become I've got the money, I've got to flaunt, like you said. So we have forgotten that there is a difference between animals, human beings, right? Human, someone who can breathe and think, and a machine. So today, a car is being washed well, a car is being taken care of, a car is loved. Whereas human, no, we don't believe in doing that. So somewhere down the lane, I somehow feel that technology has made us, this virtual world has made us disconnected with the actual reality of life. It's just not about a pet that people, you see the youngsters taking care of. It's again the older generation who needs to step in and explain, right? We don't believe in doing this at all today. Everyone is saying, why will I want to fall into this? We all don't believe in telling our younger ones anything because we fear. Main thing, again, if you ask me, I'll come back to the same thing. Let me just put the blame only on social media. People wanting this to, a status symbol. You rightly put it. It's a status symbol. It's nothing like that. When my grandson wanted to buy a dog, I told him, I said, no, why do you want to buy it? Why don't you adopt it? It's just up to us to explain to our young ones. Now he's got a stray dog and he loves this pet of his. So it's just a little bit of us telling the children that today each of us are on our own usual very busy lives. Nobody's got the time for anybody else. So you're talking about a dog. We don't have time for our own people. Feed other dogs.
True. Thank
you.
you, Miss Pai, for giving your views. Now my question goes to Miss Shalina. Miss Shalina, you are running a NGO that is SOS. But we have seen in India, there's an NGO or a organization called PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. How much hurdle they have faced. And I still remember when the circus, which we used to go earlier as a child, we used to enjoy those activities, but we never understood at that time that this is a cruelty. But when they explained, there was so much resistance from everywhere, although they won the cases, court cases, and now it's totally banned. But do you think what PETA is doing, such type of thing is required by all other NGOs also to come out openly and to tell the people, explain to them that we should not do something which will be termed as a cruelty for the animals? What are your views? Because you are running an NGO and I know that your NGO is doing very good work in Mumbai, but other NGOs, what message you want to give to other NGOs? Because now, although Ms. Pai says that social media is to be blamed, but I can say that I have seen many of the youngsters today, because of the social media and such types of discussions which might be taking place or whatnot, they want to do something for the animals, but they are handicapped. They are not getting that much support as you, Mr. Shalini, you have rightly said about that funds are required and this thing, but you are doing it from home. So what message you want to give to those who really wants to love them, learn from the animals, but they are handicapped because they think that it requires lots of investment and whatnot. Your views, Ms. Shalina.
Thank you, Dr. Ji. But the thing is, actually in Bombay, there are a lot of NGOs. I wouldn't want to say anything, but there are some who are actually working and some who are actually not working. Like aapne PETA ka bola, PETA does look into all these big matters where we being, on the smaller side, we look after the smaller animals. So basically every NGO has a part of it which they are doing and which is little different, because agar sab same karenge, to obviously then it's not getting fulfilled. So, and one thing I wanted to tell about Radhika ji, उन्होंने जो बोला कि उन्होंने अपने grandson को बोला to adopt, and I'm very happy with that, because at least there's someone who's going on our footsteps. And we also discourage buying dogs because they do not understand the breeding part of it. If we are buying dogs, we are encouraging breeding, which is the most horrible thing that can happen to the female dog, because every 6-8 months they make her litter and they keep selling the dogs, and once they feel that mother cannot produce any more children, they just throw her on the road without even bothering to look after her. We have also got animals like that. So I'm really happy about that part of it, that she one of them who started this. And even what I would suggest, if every society अगर वो एक या दो dogs को भी adopt कर लेती है, which is not a very difficult thing, your society is also protected. And the dogs on the road also get a home, they get everything else. And regarding all the NGOs, because we are mostly looking after cats and dogs, PETA has a different criteria. So every NGO is like, has a selected work. So that's how it gets divided also.
Okay.
And and one more thing about cats, I think I forgot her name. She said about the cats, like
Dr. Shubha. You're mentioning
Dr. Shubha, sorry.
Yeah.
She said about cats. Now, Dr. Shubha, she spoke about cats, and I would like to say that our animal welfare people adopt black cats, which people feel that black cats are not, they are, like a bad omen. So in our house, we take up black cats, which none of them do, because humans think that kali billi ne rasta kaat liya, so it's going to be a bad omen. But for us, they are like God, whatever you can say.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Shalina, for giving your views. Now, my question goes to Dr. Shubha. Doctor, when we talk about the pets, and especially I'm talking of the dogs right now, what we have seen in other countries, the way they treat them when they are taking them out, they are taking full care. While in India, except Mumbai, now the Mumbai has become very strong, this thing, but in other cities in India, no such type of things are taking place, and people are just leaving them out, and they are going out and then coming back and making. So don't you think we require a proper training and education about how to keep a pet at your home, whether it's a dog or cat, so that the others will not have any inconvenience? The society which is facing or creating a problem, they will also understand, no, we have to, the owner of the pet or the dog is taking care, so no need of any panic. What you say about this, Dr. Shubha?
Yes, we should have somebody, some training institutes actually where we call such kind of parents, because I have seen that parents, they don't teach their students or their children what they will. These children, 3 years old, 4 years old. This is what I've seen. Like if it's a hot season, if we keep a bowl full of water, these children will purposely go and make them ulta or put mud in that, or then pull tails of the cats, or they will ride a small bicycle and put them on their body. So we should have some small kind of places where we bring these parents together, or at least some virtual meet where we bring these parents together to train their children. Like, because if they don't train their children now, these children can also behave in the same way to their parents. So they should teach their children that be compassionate to the animal. We are not feeding them, or we are not contributing anything, but at least when a bowl of water filled there downstairs, you should not put it upside down. Purposely, they will throw it, put lot of mud or stones in that, or even knives, blades, etc. So such kind of small teaching places should be, or some virtual meetings should be held, so that these parents come together to where we can tell them that please train your children, because to be compassionate. I have seen the scientists say that those animals who are well looked after by the children, where the parents tell them to be responsible to these pets, the pets are also happy. In fact, they have a better health and a better mental health to the children also, where they grow up and get similar kind of love feelings to their parents as well as to the elders. Like elephants, how they behave, they always carry the elder with them. This is how we should teach our children to have respect for our grandfather, for our ancestors, for our parents, etc. If we don't teach them right now, when they are in their third or fourth year of life, this will go on, and in the end, they will become harsh men and harsh women. If you take the example of an animal, and if you train your child to be compassionate, similar things, just as if you put your foot in the mud is going to come back on you. So similarly, have some compassion to the animal. Teach your child, train your child, be loving, give them food, give them, don't, at least if somebody has given the food, please don't make it upside down, or please don't throw mud in that milk. Try to train them. We should
Okay.
have such small kind of places
Okay.
where we can train
Yeah.
our,
Yes.
bring the parents together so that
Yeah.
they can train their
Yes,
children.
please. Thank you, Dr. Shubha. Now, my last, I would like to ask you all a one minute message or a small message for the youth. What message you would like to give, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for the youth, how
Yes.
they can learn from the animals?
Yes, sir. Very clear message in the heated environment which is going on around us. Animals don't have any religion. They don't have any scripture. Their best religion is practiced in their day-to-day life, every moment of their life. Live and let live. Learn to coexist.
Okay.
Respect the differences each one has from each other, and support them, help them live a better life. What better lesson animals could teach us? We, the human being, have to look up to the animals to make us learn, not from any scripture. I'm leaving the names unnamed.
Okay.
That
Okay.
nobody heard
Okay.
about.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Miss Radhika Pai, what message you would like to give to the youth? Please unmute.
So what I would want to tell the youth is understand that we need the animals more than they need us. We have to, you got talk about saving the planet. Well, we need, for the ecological system to work well, we need to learn to coexist. We need them more than they need us. And I end my 2 thoughts with this. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Pai. Ms. Shalina Mamtani, please. Please unmute.
My message to them is they are the voice in today's world. I would really be happy if some of them really come forward and help the animals, because we all are getting old now and we need the younger youth to go ahead with it. So please care for the animals. In case they want to help us, they're sure to call us up and go ahead with it.
Thank you very much. Dr. Shobha, please.
My special message to the youth is that please don't work, work and work. Please make time for yourselves, and please enjoy your life as the animals make space and enjoy their life. Please do not keep on working hard. Care for the animals and live with them so that you can be away from depression.
Okay.
Care and love animals.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Shubha. So viewers, we have seen today the learnings from animal. Everybody, our expert panelists have explained how we can learn from them. We have learned in our time, we have learned so many things from the animal. But today, we are losing this. And who is responsible? The civil society is responsible. We should not put a blame on politicians or bureaucrats or anyone else. If we decide, if we will not inculcate those values, those learnings, what we have learned from the animals in our childhood, how our child, our grandchild will understand that. If we will inculcate those values today, they will learn, and they will also learn from the animals what they cannot learn from others. And as our panelist says, if they are giving us the unconditional love, and as I mentioned earlier, also I am seeing today in our country or other countries also, the love, even the human beings among ourselves, is all superficial. When we cannot donate organs, why? But the animals or the pets gives you unconditional love. They are always there to help you. And if we will take the help from them, definitely our lots of depressions, tensions will go away. And that is only possible if we also treat them as a human. We call us ourselves as a human. Are we human or inhuman? We have to take a decision for this. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecast by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Gyan, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor to bring to you every day new topic on Media Conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. And tomorrow, being Friday, tomorrow we are going to do the first Global Youth Conclave on holistic education. This is the first series because till now we are doing on a youth conclave, which is all the students from the country. But now for tomorrow, for the first time, we are doing Global Youth Conclave on holistic education. And our chief guests are Dr. Santosh Kumar Patnaik, former Managing Director, Indian Railway Finance Corporation, New Delhi, and Mr. Bajnath Pandey, Senior Manager, Partner, Marketing, Virtusa, Bengaluru. And our youth, we have 8 youth guests from different countries, right from Canada, Pakistan, India, United Kingdom, Ireland, and South Africa. They will be joining tomorrow live at 10:30 a.m. So please tune in tomorrow for Media Conference Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Thank you very much, Ms. Radhika Pai. Thank you very much, Ms. Shalina Mamtani. And thank you very much, Dr. Shubha Chogle, for joining and giving your very, very educative, encouraging, and enlightening views. And I'm sure all our viewers who have watched today's our program or who are going to watch afterwards will get the cue and try to start learning from the animals, because we cannot learn from the humans. At least we should learn from the animals. Then only we will know how great our great grandfathers or the great fathers or the great parents, grandparents were so eco-friendly, which we are not today. If we have to survive, we have to give our children and grandchildren this earth in a proper shape. We have to learn from the animals. Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers for